welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is May and I create fashion and beauty content. So recently I posted a video comparing the Root Booster to the Revlon Plus. If you guys want to check out that video, I'll leave it right here. Today's going to be a dedicated video on the Root Booster. This is the newest one from their collection. I really like this. It is different from the Plus, so keep that in mind. You are going to get different results, and I think this is better for different hair lengths. Of course, some with my length of hair, you can use this. It's just going to take a little bit longer, but I'm going to show you guys the products that I use from the wet styling to the dry styling. I do think everything is pretty important, so make sure you watch from beginning to end. But before we get into this tutorial, like this video if you want to see more hair tutorials, and follow me on my Instagram. I'll have it right here. Before we get into the blow drying and the styling, let's talk about the products that I used in the shower. So when I do something like this, and I know I'm putting a lot of time and effort, I really want to make sure my hair looks healthy, it feels smooth, it's conditioned. So I like using a deep conditioning mask. This one is from Bread. It's a really unique packaging, so it's squishy, very easy to get the product out in every last bit. So this one is the creamy deep conditioner for all curl types. Now if you guys don't know, I do have curly hair. I have wavy hair, 2B curls to be specific. So I put this in my dry hair specifically. I leave it in for 30 minutes. Root to tips, I also apply a little bit of this. This is organic castor oil. I get it on Amazon. I specifically like to use this one towards the front pieces of my hair and towards my hairline where I don't have as much hair. I just massage it in my hair. Since I already have this in my hair, I'm already waiting a good 30 minutes. You can also use this in your eyebrows and your lashes. I don't like doing that, specifically the lashes, because this is so thick. I find it to affect my vision and I just don't find it to be very comfortable. I love using it when I'm doing a deep conditioning day. So I do this after 30 minutes or so. I jump into the shower. Today I use the SheaMoisture shampoo and conditioner. I'll list the specific ones down below since they have a ton of different collections. I love that brand since it's affordable. It's really good if you have textured hair, also if you have straight hair too, but I know it's very common in the curly community. From there, I like to use a hair turban. This is just great to get all of the moisture, and also it reduces the frizz compared to a bath towel. So now let's take this out, and then I'm going to go in with a couple products before I go into the blow drying. Now, because I used a deep conditioner and I used a regular conditioner at the end, my hair is so soft. As you can see, there's no frizz going on because of that turban. If you have textured hair, coarse hair, this is so important. This is a leave conditioner. This one is by Gisou. There are other ones that I really enjoy as well, but this just helps with conditioning the hair. It reduces the frizz. It's just a really nice product to help style your hair. This is my favorite detangling brush. It's from Kristin S. Very affordable, and look how easy it is to brush my hair. Because of those products that I talked about earlier, it makes it a dream, and I don't even have to use a detangling spray. And the last step before applying heat is a heat protecting spray. This is the Bumble Heat Shield. This is a necessity, especially if you apply heat to your hair quite often. You absolutely need this. It also speeds up the drying time. And then I like to part my hair. I like to do center, so then throughout the week if I want to flip my hair, change it up, just makes it a little more versatile. All right, so right now your hair should be a little damp. It shouldn't be soaking wet where it's dripping. You need to make sure your hair is not soaking, because I don't think it's the best idea to use these kinds of tools on soaking wet hair. I think it causes more damage, and it also just takes longer to blow dry your hair overall. Because I have a lot of hair, I like to section it off. So I'm going to split my hair in half and put one side up in a clip. So then it's just out of the way. And then I'm going to section this half. Anything that's in front of the ear, I'm going to put up in another clip. I like to start from the back typically, just because the back is harder to reach. And the front is just easier to style because it's closer to your face. Because this is a smaller barrel, I am going to use smaller sections. Compared to using the Pro, I can use larger sections and it would go a little bit faster. Now, again, it has 3 settings: cool, low, high. I never use high, that's just way too hot for my scalp. I always use low. Cool, I don't use either. I don't find it to be effective. I know people like to use that to set the hair. I don't feel like it does anything, so I just don't even worry about that step. Now, another thing you can do if your hair doesn't like to hold a curl very well, you can go in with some rollers. So you do each section, roll it up, or you can do it at the very end. I tend to be lazy, so I would do it at the end for this video. I'm only going to use a roller for my shorter layers or my old curtain bangs, which would be right here. I will show you guys that when we get to that part. If that is something that you deal with, I definitely recommend some rollers. I will have these linked down below. There is no heat. These are Velcro rollers. They kind of just stay in place, which is really nice. Before I turn this on, again, smaller sections, you do want to make sure that you are going away from the face. That's really important. That will create that beautiful salon blowout. I just turned this off because I want to be able to talk and so you guys can hear me. This section is fully dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unravel it a little bit. And see what I'm doing? I'm taking it out, and then towards the end, I'm just gently pulling out. And see that beautiful curl and that bounce? That's exactly what you want. Now that movement is really important because that's how you're gonna create this bounce. I'll show you guys that again in another section because I know it could be quite tricky when you're just looking at me. So you're going to unravel it just enough where you can do this. You have enough space. You're gonna do that a couple of times depending on the length of your hair and gently pull out. Isn't that so bouncy? I love it. All right, and then I have 2 more sections and I'll be done with the side.
Trust me, I'm fine. I don't know where I'm going or what to do. I got a little fascination with IOUs and I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine. Breaking down the waves in time, but everything's alright when I spend my money with you.
This one looks so good. Okay, so this back half is done. It's looking really good. Now you do want them to set. You don't want to touch them since they're still hot. So I just like to put them behind me and out of the way. Now again, if your hair doesn't hold a curl very well, you can either pin them or use a roller. I find rollers to be more effective because you still keep that shape and that beautiful bounce. So now I'm going to do the front section. I'm going to save my bangs to the very end and you will see why. Almost there. I'm going to do this side off screen, but I will be back for the bangs part. Both sections are done. Now going on to the bangs. Even if you don't have bangs, just the front pieces, whatever's framing your face, it's super important. I've seen people do it 2 ways. You can either do it from the back or forward. I personally like to do it forward because that's where you gain the max amount of volume. So you're just gonna go like this, roll it up, and then what I like to do, because it is so close to my eyes, I tend to go back and forth like this and keep rolling it a few times, again, to really create all of that volume. Look at all that volume. It's so pretty. Like I said earlier, I like to use a roller for my bangs. Again, rolling it in the same direction as I use the heat, and because this is Velcro, it's just gonna stay in place. And now I can worry about going back to these sections as this cools. I don't want to lose the curl, but I don't want these sections to look so separated, so I'm gonna go in with a round brush. This is also from Kristin, and I'm going to lightly brush this side, and it's going to also help with any of the frizz that happened a little bit because the heat. And just like that, it is so much smoother. Okay, same thing with this side. Again, I'm being very gentle, and then you'll see me doing this with my fingers just to keep that shape. Since I had to wait for my bangs to cool down, I did touch up these pieces right here. Again, the pieces that frame your face are the most important. So now that this has cooled, I'm going to take the roller out. As you can see, it really kept its shape. In fact, I think it gives you even more volume. Don't mind me looking towards this way. I just have a mirror over here. It's hard to get my middle part just right because of my widow's peak. All right, I think that looks pretty good from what I can tell from afar. We are so close to being done. Last step is some hair oil. This is the Gisou Honey Infused hair oil. I just like using a little bit. You really don't need that much. And as you guys can see, I like to do the same method, twisting it away from the face, because that's the direction that we styled it. And then whatever's left over, I just like to put a little bit towards the top just because of those little flyaways. Now you can also use some hairspray. I don't typically do it, but again, if your hair has trouble holding a style, then I would definitely go in with a little bit of flexible hairspray. And that is how I use the new Revlon Root Booster. I hope this tutorial was helpful, my tips, my tricks, and everything in between. If any of these products interest you, I'll have them all linked down below, so definitely check them out. And if you guys want to see other hair tutorials, I'll leave a playlist right here. And that is it for this tutorial. Before you leave, like this video, subscribe to this channel for more fashion and beauty content. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!